The Gold Cup final for 1984 is here. You see Mickey Reeman of the Union Bay Squire Shop getting into his sled. George Johnson on the right, the driver of the Executone Telephones, with Jerry Oaksmith, one of the co-owners, has a chipped bone in his ankle, has to use the crutches, as a matter of fact. Milner Irvin and Mrs. Irvin behind him, getting ready to jump aboard the Renault and race for the gold. Here's Jim Kropfeld, again chewing ice cubes. He always does that before he goes out for a race. Grabs a handful and pops them in the mouth. He's ready to go for the Budweiser. Jim Lucero, the designer, part owner of the Atlas van lines. Here's his driver, Chip Hanauer, ready to go. No smiles now, as you see the Tosti Asti and Steve Reynolds heading out for the 2.5-mile course. And here's the rundown for the final heat. The top 6 qualifiers have made it to the final. The Bud, the Tosti, the Atlas, the Renault, Executone Telephones, and the Squire Shop. Chief referee for the racing today, Lee Shaneth, out of Detroit. And for the start, the boats are strung way out. It looks like the Renault on the inside. Here comes Mickey Reeman in the Squire Shop with a great start. Mickey Reeman in the Union Bay Squire Shop with possibly the best start of his career. He is way ahead of the field as he goes into the east turn. Not looking back, simply streaking down, going around the turn. You see second and third place. The Bud of the Atlas Van Lines. Tosti's dead in the water. Back at the west turn, he did not even start the race. But in the meantime, Mickey Reeman in first place in the Union Bay Squire Shop. He's got 2 people right there behind him, the Atlas on the left and the Budweiser on the right. Into the west turn, Mickey Reeman at some of the highest speeds that he has reached today, screaming into that west turn. Look at it bounce off the sponsons out there. Getting pretty rough, as a matter of fact. Mickey Reeman, he's moving along in first place here in the Squire Shop. Let's get a time for him. He's screaming down the main chute. Yes, 132.061 miles per hour, his fastest lap of the day. The Atlas Van Lines, as you can see, a rooster tail away from the Squire Shop. The Budweiser in third place with Jim Kropfeld out of Cincinnati. That's the alternate boat. That's the Joe Ritchie Spirit of Detroit going back to the pits. And back to the leader, Mickey Reeman. What a great start. That was one of the finest I have seen in years. Mickey Reeman just trying to run away from the field and get the perfect start. He wanted to be on the inside. He wanted to be going at top speed. And look at this, the Budweiser slowing way down. Turning onto the infield is Jim Kropfeld. They put a brand new engine in for the final, but obviously they've got mechanical problems and Jim is done for the day. Bernie Little, obviously disgusted, the owner of the Budweiser, the winningest owner in hydroplane history. In the meantime, the Atlas Van Lines and Chip Hanauer giving chase to Mickey Reeman in the Squire Shop, and he's right now going into the west turn. Mickey Reeman, look at the skid fin digging in, bouncing around. That boat is running better now than I've seen it in a number of races. Look who's right behind it. Chip Hanauer, the 2-time Gold Cup winner, back in 82 and 83. In third place is the Renault. Milner Irvin, the Miss Renault. The leader, Mickey Reeman, and the Squire Shop. There's the difference between the first and second place boats. The Atlas Van Lines in second place in lane number 2. Mickey Reeman holding on for dear life going into that east turn. Here comes the Atlas Van Lines giving chase. Jim Lucero of the Atlas watching. Fran Muncie there in the middle. Oh boy, you think she's nervous at all? This is the final, the run for the gold. They can win 3 straight if they can catch that man. Mickey Reeman in the Squire Shop. Atlas Van Lines, Chip Hanauer, 2-time winner of the gold, is in second place. It's turned into a 2-boat race now for first place. The Squire coming around the west turn. Mickey Reeman, he's one of the best drivers in the business, but I think that start was by far the best that he has ever put forth. In second place, the Atlas Van Lines. Here comes the move by Chip Hanauer coming down in lane 2. Mickey Reeman in lane 1 in the Squire Shop. He's slowing way down. The Atlas Van Lines moving into first place in the final for the 1984 Budweiser Gold Cup. In fact, Mickey's slowing way down. A little bit of fire coming out of the stack, or rather the blower, but it looks like he's all right, but the boat is done for the day. The Atlas Van Lines now enjoying smooth sailing as Chip Hanauer merely has to bring it all the way home. Here's the battle now for second and third place. Check that, second and third place. The Miss Renault on the inside with Executone Telephones and George Johnson moving up. He's in third, about to take over second place. Let's see if he can do it. Great battle for second and third. George Johnson, also in a Lucero design and build hull. With the Merlin engines, he's moving into second place. The Atlas Van Lines, however, Chip Hanauer going after his 3rd straight Gold Cup, this time here in Tri-City. He He has not won here since joining the Atlas camp. That was about 2.5 years ago. He won here once for the Squire camp, but he is winning the 1984 Budweiser Gold Cup to the Atlas Van Lines. There's Fran Muncy, the co-owner, with Jim Lucero, part of the crew standing down in the pits. They can only see part of the course. Second place to this man, George Johnson, and the Executive Telephone. What a great day for the Executive Telephone team. Third place, Milner Irvin, and the Miss Renault, the owner, Jerry Shannon. Chip Hanauer now joins in a very, very elite group. There have been only 2 other drivers in modern-day hydroplane racing that have won 3 straight Gold Cups, Ron Musson and, of course, Bill Munson. And keep in mind, they got that win today with really 1.5 engines. They had one healthy turbine engine. Chip Hanauer, Jim Lucero and company. There's Jim right there, shaking hands with Dale, one of the crew members, many others. We'll be back to talk with the victorious crew and driver in just a minute.
Well, Don, I'll tell you, the Gold Cup isn't here. It's on its way to the banquet hall, but these guys are going to get it tonight. And, of course, Chip Hanauer, this has put you in with some pretty heavy company, making it 3 Gold Cups in a row.
Yeah, I'm just real thankful that these people did that for me. They, for the last 3 years, they've done everything they can to help me and make, you know, me be a better boat racer and grow, and it all goes to them.
Fran Muncy, you have to be happy, of course, because your husband, Bill Muncy, won this cup 8 times.
Yes, I can't believe it. So proud of Chip. He's the best, and the genius of Jim Lucero is wondrous.
Wait a minute, Jim. She called you a genius. Is that time for a raise or dissolve the partnership, whatever this is?
Well, we came here, we had some problems right off the bat, and we've had problems all week, but Chip did a great job today. We didn't even give him all the power he should have had, but he got the job done once again.
Well, actually, O.H., how'd you feel about it? You know, you knew this was down to the marbles.
Well, this was the ultimate. Naturally, the Gold Cup, as far as I'm concerned, is the premier race of the year, and we had a lot of disappointments this year, but it's all made up. Everything's made up today. It's beautiful.
There you have it, O.H. Frisbee, chairman of the board of Atlas Van Lines, the co-owners, happy driver, the Gold Cup, and Mr. Jim Hendrick, back up to you, Don Poyer.
All right, Jim, thank you, and nice job. Here's how it will stand. The Atlas winning its 3rd straight Gold Cup. The Executive Telephone setting a new 60-mile national record of better than 115 miles per hour. Congratulations to them. National high points quickly. The Budweiser still on top. Union Bay Squire Shop right there. The Executive Telephones. Renault Tosti moving on down. Well, that's it from Tri-Cities here in Washington State and the 1984 Budweiser APBA Gold Cup. Congratulations again to Chip Hanauer, Fran Muncy, Jim Lucero, O.H. Frisbee. They are now indeed among the elite, winning 3 consecutive Gold Cups. Next week, it's on to Seattle, Washington, and we'll be there. For Jim Hendrick, I'm Don Poyer. Thanks again for joining us. So long.